There are 12 laws of the universe, and you may or may not have heard of them, but the difference between the 12 laws of the universe and the religious commandments, let's say the 10 commandments, for example, is that you are bound by one, and the other one, you don't actually have to pay any attention to whatsoever. Of course, that's going to offend some religious people who feel, how dare you blaspheme the Holy Bible and tell us that the 10 commandments are things that we can just do away with. Easy. People do away with them all the time. People do commit murder. People do lie and steal and cheat and adulterate and falsely worship things that are not themselves. And even further is the fact that we actually don't need them to dictate anything in our lives or about our lives, because we are born with the innate nature of understanding that murder is bad, lying is bad, cheating people is bad. However, because in this plane you have been made to believe that the true source of all that is not within you and is actually of this world and outside of you, you believe that you need a God to tell you how to conduct your soul. Even though your religious text tells you the true source of all that is, if you want to call that God, dwells in you. You are the temple. You believe that you are born evil, and so you go seeking religion. You go seeking the God of this material world, and you even baptize yourself in water. And I'll say rebaptize yourself in water, because you come in the womb, baptized in the Holy Spirit, in the womb of water, which in your religious text is called the Matrix. Which brings me to my main point, the 12 universal laws of the Matrix, the cosmos, the universe, nature. First law is the most important and the reason why we are here in this plane to begin with, and it is the law of divine oneness, which tells us that everything is not only connected, but everything is the same thing, manifested differently, which is actually substantiated by the religious text, which tells you that you do well to know that God is one. Demons know also and tremble, which is the true meaning of the verse that Christians often misquote to believe that demons tremble at the mention of Jesus' name. Nowhere in their text does it say that. It says that they tremble at oneness. Second law of the universe is the law of vibration, which tells us that all things, inanimate and animate, intangible and intangible, have vibration. And that vibration exists within a specific frequency. Imagine being tuned into a radio station, which is a frequency. When you're turned onto the hip hop and R&B frequency, you're only going to get music or vibrations that match the frequency of the hip hop and R&B station. Meaning, in order to get pop, alternative rock, you're going to have to change the station or the frequency. Which brings me to the third law, which is the law of correspondence, which tells you that your external reality is a direct result of your internal thoughts. So in order to align with a specific vibration or frequency, your thoughts have to match it, which is the perfect segue into the fourth law, which is the law of attraction. Likeness attracts likeness. Of course, we have been taught that opposites attract. Lie. To the person who's going to say, well, in physics, we do see that opposites attract. I would say to that person, the difference is that yes, we are electric. However, we are internally electric, meaning that everything that happens in our reality comes inside outside. However, when you're talking about electromagnetism, you're talking about something that endures outside forces. It's outward inward, meaning they are only attracted to each other as a result of a magnetic field. Without those outside forces, it wouldn't look like that. The fifth law is the law of inspired action, which essentially just states that when you are aligned with who you truly are, inspiration will come to you. You don't have to force it. Because again, remember, you are the true source of all that is. You are creative because you create. The sixth law, which is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, states that everything is fluctuating and growing. Therefore, if it lacks evolvement, change, something is wrong. The seventh law is the law of cause and effect, which states that for every cause, there is obviously an effect. Our thinking creates the cause, and our experiences are the effect. The unironically eighth universal law, and my personal favorite, is the law of compensation, what some people call karma. You reap what you sow. What you give to others shall be given to you. What you withhold from others shall be withheld from you. It is unavoidable. It is a universal law. Which is okay, because the ninth universal law tells us that everything is relative anyway. We perceive the world how we want to. Because the 10th law of the universe tells us that there is a law of polarity, meaning everything in the universe has an opposite, we know that there are vast realities existing. But don't fear, don't fret, don't create anxiety in your thought processes. Flow like water, because that is the 11th law of the universe, which is the law of rhythm. Everything has a nature and a season. You in your life have seasons too. At a collective level, we have seasons. Astrology, which is substantiated by the religious text, which tells you that you should use the sun, the moon, the stars for signs and seasons. Genesis 1. And the final law of the universe, which is equally as important as the first, is that there is a law of gender. And that law is quite contrary to what you've been taught, which is to follow social constructs about femininity and masculinity that are not real because they're constructed, crafted, created. The universal law tells you, however, that life is only in alignment for you when your masculine and feminine identities come together. To exist only in one is to exist as half of yourself. Nothing done halfway can reach completion. Here's the most important nugget of truth for all of those who stayed through this very long, very long video. I've previously said that they are bound by the laws of the cosmos, which requires them to tell us the truth. Throughout the course of this very long video, where I have described all 12 of the universal laws, not in a single one did I reveal that they are required to tell us the truth. So let me explain. If they, being the powers that be, tell you the truth, then they believe they get to escape the laws of the universe, that they will avoid the law of compensation. They will avoid karma because they told you. And since they told you, you willed what happened to you. You gave compliance, you agreed, you cooperated in your destruction. They hide the truth in plain sight. They put it in the movies, the TV shows, the entertainment, the sports, the news. They put it in the papers, the books, on social media. And most importantly, they put it in the religious texts because they have to. Unfortunately for them, who are metaphorically deemed the fallen angels and therefore cannot reascend into heaven, aka the height of consciousness, they don't know what we know, which is that unfortunately for them, they did not escape the laws of the universe. Ashe.